Hello, and thank you for joining us for Game 4, where we got two teams that came in hot at the week start, looking to shake off their struggles from the past weeks. We're seeing which one can pick up a team today. We've got the 4-3 Team Liquid, and the 3-4 Evil Geniuses.
TL won yesterday. They were coming into the week 3-3, not the start that they expected, but they did look very dominant in their win yesterday. Yes, you have to couch it a little bit because it was against Golden Guardians, one of the weaker teams in the league, but this was still a confidence boost, I think, for TL, who had a couple rough games in a row. You know, they saw Alfari back on the Camille having a strong game. The engages were there from CoreJJ and Santorin, and it just seemed like a strong team effort, even bringing out, you know, new pick here for Tactical Tristana, something that I have felt should be raising in priority a lot, and Tactical looked fantastic on it.
Yeah, I think she's really, really a strong champion. Good to see that one come around more. Good to see the cleanup of here. And yeah, I mean, TL, yes, last week, their last two losses, you know, what they stopped their losing streak was from losing to TSM and 100 Thieves, who are, you know, tied for second right now, so maybe they're the third or fourth best team right now, but certainly the ability to raise back to the level that they were at when they won lock-in is certainly there. On the EG side, though, I feel like we're seeing a lot of struggles for them. They looked really good at lock-in. A lot of it was, you know, Someday doing really, really well on a bunch of Renekton, but EG in the actual Spring Split, in the games that qualify for Worlds, the ones that qualify for MSI, it's not been great. You see a bunch of stuff they're doing towards the bottom of the table. They don't have Baron control. They have even worse Herald control. This is, again, off of Impact looking good, you know, during lock-in.
Yeah. I mean, he crushed. It was, what, 4 straight games of Renekton in lock-in where he won every single game. And then in Spring Split, it has been banned against them in 100% of games. Doesn't matter what side they're on, doesn't matter who they're playing against. Renekton gets banned out. I think it is because it is kind of one of the only champions that really allows him to play very aggressively in lane. Most of his other champions, you know, even if they are a carry like GP, is much more on that defensive end. It did allow them to have a pretty easy jungle top lane pairing where they could play aggressively through that. Gave Svenskeren another option to play towards a different lane, and I think while Impact has played well, it has felt like without that tool in their toolkit, they are a more one-dimensional team, and I think some of the other mistakes have started to show through. Some of the holes in their gameplay have started to show through as a result. Jizuke feels like he is regressing a bit. He's not playing as well as he was in those earlier stages. You know, he had been getting a lot of credit for the consistency he had shown throughout lock-in in the early games, but let's be honest, over the last couple of games, he has been having a lot of mistakes. You know, even in the wins, has at times been making mistakes, and definitely Ignar weren't really able to get anything done yesterday in their game, bringing out the Samira. So I'd like to see EG get back to their high level of play that they showed earlier, because it's just exciting having more strong teams compete with these top level teams, and we'll see if they can give TL a run for their money and how TL is going to look after a slower start than they were expecting.
Sure. On the EG point, one thing we saw was the full screen graphic of Alfari stats and Impact stats, both of whom have looked very good in lane, even in Spring Split, where Impact has gotten 0 Renekton games. Again, first ban here for TL. But the point is not that he still can't lane. Obviously, he's a good player, but you said that Herald control is 9th. Like, that's about top Dominion, and that guy roaming down at 8 minutes and your support showing up and getting the objective. They're not getting any Heralds, right? Like, the mid-game flanks where he was 1v5ing the back line on Renekton, that doesn't happen anymore. He's just winning lane, and then it isn't converting, is kind of the point here. So the rest of EG converting around Impact's good laning, that's what we're looking for here. First pick Nidalee is the play with every other AP jungler available. The Lilia is still there, the Taliyah is still there, but Team Liquid say, no, we want this for Santorin.
Pretty interesting just seeing that get grabbed up right away. You know, there's a lot of answers that we could see EG go towards. The Hecarim is banned out. That has become very popular. If they want AP of their own, Lilia feels like the go-to. I've still been waiting for Elise to really show up in competitive play, but it just feels like there's such a focus on power farmers these days, and we heard Spawn talking about it on the desk, where it just feels like power farming your jungle is so important on this patch that no one else is really getting to see play, right? If you can't power farm, if you can't clear incredibly quickly, the risk reward isn't worth it for some of these ganks. You know, if you go for a gank on Elise and it doesn't work out, all of a sudden you're down a couple levels, but it is going to be standard stuff here. Kai'Sa coming through. I would be interested to see if Tactical and CoreJJ want to go for any sort of aggressive lane to try to punish Kai'Sa, who can be one of the more susceptible laners to that.
Yep. Well, the lock-in is here in TL. Now we kind of know why they want something like Nidalee, because you've got a fair bit of lockdown with Camille landing the stun. They're going for a very obvious game plan of, obviously, the top lane is attackable with Camille Nidalee, but also well, we're going to dive into a team fight with Camille hitting someone, the Galio over the top, and someone's going to get deleted. Indeed, Kai'Sa can be the target there. She cannot dodge really any of that stuff. If you point and click Camille, it's going to land on her no matter what she does. So that's going to be the watch there. Gnar may be the answer to Camille, which is going to be a pretty volatile matchup up there. So we'll see what that ends up looking like down the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one of the things that I think has been happening against Impact as well, is that people are starting to realize that they can just comfortably blind pick some of these champions that other people would punish them for. You can blind a Camille against Impact because he's not going to play Jax, right? He's not going to play a Quinn. It's just not what he does. He's going to play a similar group of champions no matter what his opponent really is doing. He does what he does, and he's very good at it. But it is one of the things that he was punished for on TL, where people would blind pick GP against him, and he would pick a tank into it, kind of with the self-lane counter. We'll see how he can perform here on the Gnar. But Alphari has been very strong on the Camille. This has been, I think, a big difference between these two players. Alphari obviously coming in to take Impact's spot this year around, and maybe going to be going for that Ignite TP Camille, which would possibly lead towards a lot of pressure up on that top side, especially if it's going to be a mid lane Galio. Then you have to be even more careful on that Gnar. But for now, TL does not have their marksman drafted, does not have their support. So they are targeting Core JJ a little bit. He is just becoming so well known for his Thresh. He's just ridiculous win rates in solo queue on this, and pretty much feels unstoppable on the pick. So it's getting banned a lot against them in competitive play as well.
All right, well, one final to go through. Obviously, we know almost certainly what the mid lane pick is here for TL. We know that Galio can obviously be flex support, so I would expect TL to at least make EG respect that. I feel like EG, we probably see them grab support here and wait for mid, because I think you actually want to know for sure what lane you're against. So indeed, Alistar is the current hover for Ignar. That's going to, obviously he's going to think about, okay, what's a good champion that's good in a Galio? I can headbutt away, that's not too bad, but also, good in the generic game if it is something random, and I think this pick works just fine.
I think it works well, and honestly, I think as soon as they banned Lucian, that was a pretty big tip of your hand that it is actually a mid laner, because Lucian is one of the hardest matchups for Galio in the mid lane. This is one that people will go to in competitive play pretty regularly if you do blind pick a mid lane Galio. So to me, that's saying, yep, this is mid. We still have to pick our bot lane here, and we'll see what EG can get done with that. I like the Alistar just as a general pick, for Ignar here. As you said, it can work well as disengage for the Galio if that was going to be the bot laner. You can also knock Camille out of her own ultimate, which actually closes that and allows you to disengage from that. But very aggressive bot lane here from TL. They're going to the Samira, the Leona as well. The Samira nerfs are not on this competitive patch, so this is still the stronger version of it. And, I pose the question, are we going to get this aggressive lane to try to punish Kai'Sa? Definitely and Ignar have been solid, but they have not been known for their 2v2 as much as they have for their roaming and their team fighting performances. Okay, oh, interesting. Yone into the Galio. This feels like you could potentially do well in lane, but I'm kind of thinking about the team fight, and it seems so hard to team fight into Leona and Galio on a Yone. There's so much CC available there that it feels pretty hard to not get immediately point and click stunned or taunted up when you go in. And you're so susceptible to that crowd control on Yone. It's a lot about your mobility, being able to snap back when you want to keep safe and have that ability to dive into the back line. So we'll see if he can actually pull this off, because it feels like it's a really, really difficult pick to execute into their comp.
But I'm curious what the sideline is going to look like down the line, though. Richizuke is a player who I think is so much so he excels at playing in the side lanes and playing apart from the team. Champions like LeBlanc and everything else, where he's just down there. Rise as well, where it's about being one of the prongs on a 1-3-1. And Yone should do that very, very well. Obviously, one of the nice things about Yone is when you do come to friendly team fight, that ult is such a good grouping tool that, hey, suddenly we're in there and the battle can start. So do I think he'll look good on the side then against both the Camille and Galio? Yeah, I think he will. So I think, through that context, it'll work. I agree team fighting is tough when the CC is so easy to land. But if there's someone who can play the more volatile style, I think it is Richizuke. I think it's going to be fun to watch for. And we are into the game here. Team Liquid, the lock-in champions, sadly only at 4-3. They're 2.5 behind first place. Evil Geniuses off a 3-game losing streak, not where they wanted to be. We'll see if they can turn it around here.
It's going to be definitely an exciting game, I think, here, and we'll have to find out, how he does in that side lane, because I would definitely think that Camille should have the advantage in that 1v1. But it is pretty interesting. Not only are we getting TP Ignite, we are getting Omni Stone. So this is the bin special from Worlds playing into these ranged matchups. You don't get a lot of value out of Conqueror, so you can cycle through with Omni Stone. You get a Grasp, you go in, you proc that, you get a Comet, sweet, Airy, Electrocute. You're looking for these trades, these consistent uses of the runes that you're actually getting from your Omni Stone. And
see this?
If you start with W, that's the perfect one to actually start with there, level 1. You just get a tactical sweep, proc the comment on him right away. And it honestly can be very, very effective into the Gnar. When you're playing Ignite and Omni Stone, there's a high potential of being able to go for these all-ins, so we'll have to track how Impact can do. Of course, he picked this matchup. It was a blind Camille.
Well, he's got the tactical sweep on his team. Sadly, the man got the warding item, but still going to land. Bam! Gigantic trade. Alphari takes 0 damage on the way back thanks to his shield. Already winning lane. But Impact, can he grasp? He's trying. He can't do it. On Fleet, that's freebie, Just like, here, let me just get some health back. No problem.
Yeah, really nicely done. Of course, when you're playing this type of matchup, a lot of it is Gnar is trying to avoid the outside ring of that W. That is where you get the heal here. Now Alphari already on his 3rd rune here, trying to cycle through. We'll see if he can actually get a little trade for the Grasp proc, but probably not going to be able to do so. And generally speaking, when you are the Gnar, it's about the extended trade, right? He's trying to get the push here, trying to shove in Alphari. The initial trades are difficult as, you do have that passive shield that Camille is going to proc, but, if you can then harass the Camille as she's retreating backwards after trying to go for that trade, that's where you can start to win out on it.
Alphari went for the Q, not for a hook shot, so cannot force Grasp. Might go through the entire cooldown. Gets it. Nicely done. Gets the shot across. Impact could have played it more defensively, but I think optimizing on Keystone's not the most important thing, so
it's actually rough.
We'll try to let up a little bit. Gets the cold one. Now we get to see Jensen and Jizuke keep fighting in the mid lane. Right now it is 4 CS lead. Nice taunt means the combo's going to land decently enough. And I like this, right? Wait until Aftershock ends up. Ooh, we took a turret shot. That is a trade lost there by Jizuke. Couldn't get the shield out in time to block the turret shot. That's going to hurt. Jizuke and Tower is not a match made in heaven.
Not at all. And it makes it really awkward because the wave is in a spot where he wants to reset it and then actually base. So, sometimes that tower shot can be the difference between you being able to reset it and you feeling not safe enough to do so. Looks like he should be able to push in either way. But unfortunately for Impact, Impact took these bad trades topside, and what I was kind of referring to was just the fact that he took these rough trades and he couldn't reset the wave. So the wave is actually stuck in a bad spot. He's just going to die here.
Impact is ignited. He's no way to live. The heal came in to make sure they got the assist on it, and Svenskeren just cannot help him in time. Alphari finds himself first blood at the top lane.
And he made it look easy. And so much of this was about the early laning, the fact that he hit multiple tactical sweeps, he procced the runes, and he contested the push enough that Impact could never reset it. So when you lose these trades consistently as the ranged champion, you're trying to spend your health to essentially reset the wave, to get it in. You can see it has this big stacked wave, but Alphari contested it enough that it never got to the turret. And you cannot base with a wave like that, or it's going to be a permanent freeze. So all that happens is as soon as Santorin is up there in the area, Alphari doesn't even need Santorin to get the kill. He just needs Santorin there to know that if Svenskeren shows up, he has his jungler behind him. He finds the easy solo kill and doesn't even have to use his teleport here yet. So he's going to be able to get a great buy on the back, and Impact already in trouble in the matchup he chose.
That's rough. That is rough. But you talked about it before, right? The pool's limited. He doesn't have a big wealth of counter picks, and TL's like, yeah, we'll just play a Camille comp. You're not going to contest it. We can take it second round. We know we're going to play Camille, so we'll first pick Nidalee. Like, it's just all there. Like, they knew what the draft's going to be before Team Liquid even started the draft. Before EG even started the draft. So, hey, well done. Jat drafting against his former top laner, and yep, it's going to work pretty greatly. So far, so outstanding. 5 CS lead with a bigger wave to clear. Impact's early landing stats about to plummet off of this game.
Whoa. And look at CoreJJ. He's already coming up here, and Phase Rush is proc, so he could actually try to extend this play. Should have spotted CoreJJ now. But we'll see if he wants to trade flashes, try to do anything like that. But with Alphari backing off, should not be anything more. But again, notice how Alphari is contesting the wave so heavily. He's doing this to keep the wave in an awkward spot. Most top laners would just give that up and allow the Gnar to push it in instead of taking that trade. But now, TL looking to scrap it up. Ignar is heading up here, but TL obviously have the numbers for now, and Impact still in this awkward spot. He's got no vision, to actually fully track everything as a pink ward gets dropped. The wave is freezing against him. You want to walk up and reset it, but you don't know if anyone's there.
Oh, no. Yeah, you just saw the two guys. You face check into it. You've been stunned. Alistair shows up, a flash to safety. Can't quite kill Impact, but he still goes down. CoreJJ finds it with the last little bit of damage, and now Svenskeren, his days are numbered. Does find one flash away. Well played, but CoreJJ is on the chase, and a double kill for Leona. CoreJJ makes it happen.
Just where you want the kills, too. It's on your carry, CoreJJ. You know he's going to make it worth your while. And it's just the long con here. Impact assumes that, all right, they wouldn't still be here. They'd be heading back towards bot side, clearing KMC, be safe to actually clear out that ward. But no, they waited the whole time. They get the kill onto Impact, and CoreJJ flashing in, nails the Zenith Blade, finishes off for a double kill there on the Leona. And now he's got the early Mobies, so the threat of the roams will continue. And Impact is just in such a rough spot. He was already behind off that. And you're also playing against this Ignite top laner. So when you're trading out summoners, he's going to have the Ignite that much more often. CoreJJ just heading straight back to top lane again, knowing that Alphari is going to be close to 6 and has Ignite. So he hits 6 right now. And this is probably just a dead Impact. It's so hard to actually avoid this. If you just hookshot in an ult right as the blast cone comes out, it feels like there's very little that Impact can do without a teammate here. So it just depends. Do TL think that someone is behind him or not?
All right, hook shot, sweep. There's the leap, and there's the ulti, and Impact is probably going to die. They get the backflip, they get the stun. He's got no way out anymore as long as CoreJJ doesn't steal the kill. He roots him, stops autoing, perfect play. Team Liquid, 4-1. All these kills, top lane.
That is so rough for Impact. He is not having a fun time up here in top lane at all. And now the kills are much more punishing because the wave is stacked, pushing towards him. He has no TP. So these are the ones where you get punished heavily. You lose a lot off of it. It's not just the farm. He's going to lose at least one plate, very likely. And Alphari will just extend that advantage so much here to the point where Impact doesn't really have anything going for him now. And this is also going to bleed over and affect the other lanes because, as you talked about, okay, well, Yone maybe wants to go out to the side lane and try to 1v1 against this Camille, but at this point, it's just so hard to even try to do that. And Alphari didn't even overcommit. He didn't use his Ignite. So now you show up and there's still a potential of just going for the all-in immediately again, utilizing that Ignite.
And Tactical got to stay within 10 CS the entire time. Like, CoreJJ was out of lane for about 2.5 minutes straight, and I saw 0 movements of EG putting anyone bot lane. Like, if this is 100 Thieves, Tactical's been dead 4 times already, because the team is aware bot lane exists. But the fact that Ignar definitely sat in lane, didn't roam, didn't dive. Like, they have Abstract Alistair. He is immune to towers. Well, and they did nothing. They did nothing to do any damage.
Alistair
did
go top.
He did. So, okay, to be fair, that's true.
Yeah, so that's the thing is he tried to match the roams, but he just basically matched what CoreJJ was doing, but worse, right? He was later to the play. He wasn't able to really get anything done there. So yeah, I mean, that's always the question. As a support, when the enemy support goes missing, what do you do about it? If that is 100 Thieves, I agree. Instead of matching the roam, they probably try to dive and kill. They probably TP their mid laner down or roam their mid laner down and try to punish. Unfortunately for them, they tried to match the roam. They lost on the matched roam. So TL wins on both sides of the map because Tactical's not being punished in the 1v1 and they're winning out on the top side of the map. So everything goes TL's way, and that's one of those difficult decisions that you sometimes have to make as a support player, and that is the CoreJJ difference kind of in action, right? He made the correct choice. He executed on it better, is able to find these kills and multiple trips back up, gets the double kill, invests in mobility, grabs the Moby boots, runs straight back to top again. Not a lot of top laners are going to expect that.
Oh, well done all the same. Obviously 2-0 and 2 is going to be outstanding for Alphari, 100% KP. Thank you the team for roaming over to make it happen. Only one plate up there. I believe Alphari took a second recall recently for the upgraded boots. Going to go for the stun. He's got a Galio nearby as well. That knockup's still going to land. Hey, Impact, you're taunted. Hey, Impact, you're dead. Team Liquid taking turns, grabbing assists alongside Alphari.
Impact is getting the direst treatment up here. He is just getting ganked again and again and again. I thought this was a 1v1 lane. Why are there 3 people up here?
Oh, ouch. Yeah, and it's just going to keep getting doomed. I mean, it's obviously not going to get any better anytime soon. EG have to hope they can win somewhere else, but sadly, Leftly is down in farm. Jizuke has some, but, well, Galio has a kill worth maybe 170 gold. So, that's going to make up for the farm difference. And, oh, it's just so rough now for EG. Team Liquid looking great.
Yeah, when you pick one of these matchups that you get outscaled in, and then you lose early game 2, it just feels so terrible, and that's the situation that Gnar is in right now. You know, Camille is going to have the advantage more and more as the game gets further in. As you get additional CDR, as you have a couple items coming through, the burst on that true damage Q is insane from Camille. You can be able to consistently get multiple hook shots off in a fight, you know, chase down this Gnar and Mini very effectively. It just gets harder from here on out, and he's already really, really behind. I mean, you look at the itemization. Alfari's going to have his Mythic, and Impact's going to have like a Ruby Crystal and a Longsword, so it's pretty sad at this point.
Okay, well, Herald going to be started. I will say that Svenskeren managed to grab the first Dragon of the game about 2 minutes ago, so at least that's been picked up. They're going for the first Herald here as well, but Team Liquid are on the roam. Ignar's got a Javelin stick out of his back. And EG may not be able to fight for this one. They've got the whole team around here, but Team Liquid the same. Smite fight might be soon. Predator for Alfari. Well, here comes the flash engage, and Naka comes across. Today taking it up. Ignar doing the same. 200 health left, picked up there. On the blue team, though. What a steal coming across, and now a shutdown coming across. So it is EG finding a few kills. Jensen on the run. He will drop as well. The Herald may be stolen, but the team fight goes to Evil Geniuses.
That was a great team fight from EG, but I've got to ask, what were TL doing? 3 of them are trying to walk through Impact, who's literally in Mega Gnar. He wasn't close to Mega Gnar. He wasn't trying to get Mega Gnar. He was in Mega Gnar, and you tried to walk straight through him. Of course he's going to get the multi-man ult there. Impact is never going to mess up this fight. I mean, watch this. So Impact right now, full rage bar, goes into Mega here. And then Jensen and Santorin just try to walk through him. What do you think is going to happen? Of course he's going to be able to land that stun every single time as a professional player. They just get completely erased off the back of that, and that is just... TL just feels like they lost track of where Impact was or what was going on in that fight. Jizuke had great follow-up off of the stun, and EG do get their legs back into this game a little bit.
All right, it brings the gold a bit closer, but then a full 1,000 goes to Alfari. The one benefit of the Herald going to your top laner, you don't have to steal, you don't have to share the plate gold when it charges with your jungler. So every single bit of that gold went to Alfari, all 5 plates, the first turret gold and the 250 local, all of it adds up. It's about 1,000 just to him. And that means the gold difference still stays at about 1,800, but up until that exact moment, yeah, EG had brought back most of the lead.
Yep, and Impact got a couple kills there, which was critical to just be able to survive in this 1v1. You can see one of the really nice things, and I think it was maybe you who initially pointed this out to me, was when you play Omnistone, it prioritizes the rune that it thinks is the best for the situation, essentially. So you get Predator when you're going back to base a lot of the time, and in that case, he got Predator, he pops it, you know, he can TP back in with the Predator up. Impact immediately has to run away there, and it's just kind of one of those fun things about that rune that can be quite effective. Even just sometimes when you don't have TP, being able to Predator back to lane can be quite nice with that rune.
Well, cannons go over. Game still stays at a 2,000 damage, but now Santorin's going to feel real comfortable with how much top pressure they have to go for a red buff steal. That's going to be pretty nice. He's got an aggressive control ward to track when Svenskeren shows up. It'll be too late for him as well. Alfari still going to sit with a 20 CS lead. Swirl Seed lands. Sven kills a ward, but can't get much more done. Still, with the Galleon nearby, Jensen's waiting in a barrage. He's like, hey, if there's a dive, I will ult this, and here we go. Goes for the play. Impact does not have a way out, but he's able to flash in time. I don't know if Alfari had to run too far, if the timer ran out, but regardless, Impact stays safe, and here comes the dive back in. The re-engage is there. The taunt comes across, and they're going to find 1 kill as Alfari reaches the back line, gets the backflip out of Svenskeren, but traded back by Jizuke, and with the shutdown gold coming across, that is EG positive.
Nice little bit of counterplay there. Jizuke and Svenskeren getting up to the top side to try to protect Impact. Yes, he does die again, but as you say, they get the shutdown gold, and it is onto Jizuke, who they really do want to get going. He's going to have a better chance in the side lane than Impact is at this point. So here it is one more time. As soon as Mega is expiring, it's just a really well-timed engage there. Goes in on, I think he did actually step out.
Yeah, he walked out.
That ultimate. It looked like he went a little bit too far. He was trying to reset turret aggro, is the reasoning there, but got a little bit too far. It did allow Impact to escape. And then, as Jizuke does arrive, I'm not really sure what that flash was from Jizuke, maybe just trying to back it up a little bit to avoid the empowered Q before his Q came back off cooldown. But either way, does finish off the kill himself, gets the shutdown. And EG are trying to keep it relatively close. They are down about 1.5k, but they have a dragon to their name. So, you know, despite how everything on the top side has really looked, EG are keeping it competitive.
They are, and it's nice to see that this game is gotten back from complete doomed to actually playable. Though good to see here for sure. And Jizuke kind of leading the charge, most farm in the game. Okay, fine, he's one behind Tactical, but you know, considering the kill he's got as well, he's definitely doing really nicely. He may indeed be top in the gold charts overall. Scumbag Tactical, keeping that from being honest right at the very start. One thing I do want to point out with Yone's though, from the best Yone's I've talked to and looking at data as well, the actual optimal Yone build is 3 points Q and then max your E. Because the cooldown and the bonus damage scales so aggressively on the Soul Unbound that you want that. Jizuke and every LCS mid laner I have seen actually goes all 5 points in Q. But if you're really going to be hardcore, from level 7 onwards, get your Soul Unbound maxed so that you have the extra mobility, and it's a pretty big deal there.
Yeah, I think it can be, and it also kind of depends though, like what you're trying to do, right? You go from oh, that looked very funny.
That was great.
Alfari jumping a little bit further than he was expecting. You know, the E is more about the trading and the all-in potential. The Q, I think people take for wave clear, and I think that's the argument in LCS, and you see that prioritized so heavily. Tactical could be in some trouble here.
Flash with the combo. Tactical could not flash away from headbutt in time, but now has the flash on the backside and feels safe enough to get away. I think he was able to hit W in time to stop getting autoed when the stun came across, so able to really not get bursted too heavily, but it still is a trade of flash for both summoners here. And now a flash from Core JJ, stun combo. They just keep locking him down. Impact, though, gets the double hop, but the backflip is too much. Alfari claims another kill.
Nicely done. TL punish on the other side after the failed attack onto Tactical. Jizuke trying to get up here to answer, but this is very late. They now have Ignar moving up as well. We'll see if they can get anything done. Jizuke looks like he's thinking about blast coning in, but will back off. And I would love to watch that bot lane fight one more time. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a replay of that because it wasn't a kill, but it felt like Deftly positioned his ultimate poorly. You know, I think in that situation when you have the 2v1, you want to ulti behind, you know,
it would give him a leap target, though.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of try to do it to the side, right? Like, you try to go off on an angle, so if he ease through you, he ease towards the wall. Because I think when you ult on your side of the map, that gives him the out with the flash, right? Whereas if you ult more towards, like, the bush side, but kind of as far as you can, I do think that gives you an opportunity there, or even just committing the flash early to get on top of him, then ulting to follow on the flash. But either way, they at the very least forced those summoners, but didn't get more, and Impact continues to take that punishment up on the top side, while EG continued to stack their dragons. They are going to be looking to work towards this potential Mountain Soul here. Definitely trouble.
He had the flash, but now he's got no way out. The ult's going to come across. Tactical make sure to immune the Q, and easy kill pick up. Alfari gets number 5, but Impact is here. Goes for the Mega Gnar. Tactical has a dash away. Not going to be stunned up just yet. The other half of it, though, is Svenskeren burning Azonia's Hourglass. Gallier on the top now as well. Knocked up by Alistar. Health bars are low. Mega Gnar finds 4, and they're going to get 3 kills right away. Svenskeren getting away with it. In Tactical, he's going to drop as well. EG in the team fights, time and again, getting so much done with Impact's Gnar.
What a TP there from Impact, and he wasn't able to get the initial Mega Gnar onto Tactical, but who cares? Because he got the much bigger prize, a triple kill for Impact. He has played, I think, with a lot of poise this game. I would have been so tilted out of my mind given the camping treatment that he received, and he has really found some high-value team fights from a very difficult position while being targeted all game long by TL. Has just played like such a true veteran here.
This is the best 0-4 Gnar I have ever seen. It went from 0-4 to 5-6. He is the reason they are winning. He has been the reason TL have been winning because they've been camping him. I'm not really blaming Impact.
He's the reason both teams are winning.
He's the reason. This game is a 1v0. It's just like, can you complete the campaign here?
All right, well, let's see this game one more time. Predator, again, value here from the Omnistone. Alfari just getting right on top of Deftly. He uses the flash, but you can't create space from him. Then as Impact came in, a nice little dash away from Tactical, and Impact does not want to commit to actually dropping the ulti there. So he goes over. There's a multi-man sleep that has been set up by Svenskeren. It was a beautiful setup from him, and Svenskeren did an incredible job actually surviving, dodging out on that Q from Tactical, dodging away from Jensen, setting up for the Mega Gnar. So really the recipient there of a great play was Impact, but Svenskeren deserving of a lot of the credit as he was the one starting that fight off, and now EG are actually in a gold lead. You can look, the farm advantage isn't even much up on that top side. The kills are the same. Yeah, in fact, died a lot more, but he's really not that much weaker now than his lane opponent. Of course, there is the difference of that turret gold that went over to Alfari, but Impact, I think, holding strong here, and EG now have a legitimate threat of getting this soul, because there's not really a side lane advantage anymore. There's not really a gold advantage for the team fight anymore. EG are just in a great spot.
They really are, and they're setting up to try to prevent a Dragon stop playing on their control word, and Tactical going to get hit up with the headbutt pulverize, forces the Galli ulti out. They're going to find no to lock up from that. Ult comes through for Ignar, re-engage comes across, stun's not quite going to land for Corte J and the rest of it either, and EG honestly getting away with everything that they ever wanted. Half health bar and 2 members of Team Liquid. A lot of the big value ults are gone, and EG get an easy Dragon now.
So I think TL now, their answer here is threaten Baron. They know that they're going to lose this Dragon. They can't actually 5v5, so they're trying to threaten the counterplay. In this situation, I think definitely should solo this. Everyone else should be up on the other side. There's no reason to send 3 people to this Dragon when you know for a fact everyone from TL went to the other side of the map. TL will not actually commit to that Baron rush, but I still do prefer when you just, in those situations, don't overcommit towards the Dragon. But now at Soul Point, Tactical in trouble.
And he is gone. Kill picked up. Definitely ulted to make sure it happened. Gets out of the turret, and EG can now do no wrong in the mid game. Turret number 2 is gone. Number 3 is under fire. They may not kill it. Svenskeren pulled aggro, so they're going to walk away. But EG have the solid gold lead. They are 4.5 minutes away from Mountain Soul. Team Liquid put a lot of effort in top lane, and yet Impact has done way more in team fights.
He really has. He's been very strong in the team fights, and definitely now really paying dividends on this Kai'Sa here. Farmed it out against Tactical in the lane. But Tactical has been getting caught out a couple times now. Has not really been in a position to actually help his team out. Has not been able to actually get off any value ultimates in those team fights. So EG now at Soul Point, 4 minutes away. Team Liquid will have to try to contest that. They could play towards, their split push advantage. You have Camille, who is not really ahead that much in gold anymore, but does have still the scaling advantage, the 1v1 advantage here. But it's so tough because you're going to be drawn towards that Dragon every single time now. You can't afford to just give over a Mountain Soul to this team that is already playing from an advantage.
Yeah, how do you ever kill him? I mean, maybe it's enough. Like, if you have overkill damage, you're just going to delete deftly every time anyway because you still have high farm Camille. But, yeah, the rest of the team fight is still difficult. You still have to burn everyone else down, and, yeah, that gets tougher and tougher over time. So items still coming through. Stridebreaker plus Sterex now done for Impact. I see that item actually usable on Gnar yet again since it works in ranged form. That's a little bit nice. The Leandries plus Zhonya is, of course, done for Svenskeren. He did the build that I like, which is stopwatch AP itemization and then finish out Zhonya's, especially with being the only AP threat on his team. I think you actually you just can't really afford to go Moonstaff since you're not going to give AP to someone that they care about. There's no kind of benefit to that item. So a good build for a good game, I should say, a good comp for AP Lilia. So that's going just fine. And EG going back into the mid lane. This is definitely dead tier 2.
Yep, and TL aren't even going to try to answer, right? They're just going to try to get waves going in the side lanes, but you can actually just see EG go towards the inhibitor if they wanted. They will see the Rift Herald being dropped, so they are going to respond to this down on that bottom side. Team Liquid should get a tower back for themselves here, you would assume, with this Rift Herald, but we'll see if anything more comes from it. It's just going to be about this next fight. I think that's really what we are building towards here. I also want to track how many luxury items get to come through. If EG members are able to pick up stopwatches, I just think that's so high value at this next fight, which could potentially decide the game. I would love to see definitely dropping his Doran's Blade, try to be able to buy up a stopwatch, get a stopwatch on Jizuke, get a stopwatch over on Impact, because it's such an incredible one-fight item, and I think when Soul is on the line, it is worth spending the gold on a stopwatch, it's worth spending the gold on an elixir for as much power as you can possibly get in that moment.
Well, Collector done. 2 items here for Samira. The big pop-off ult can certainly be great. Another game of steel caps, but it is very physical heavy on the EG side, so at least I understand it for the defensive aspect. Merchandise obviously can be valuable against the stuns, but if you dodge those, you're still going to take some damage somewhere. 1,700 gold difference, 130 on the Mountain Soul. Team Liquid can fight for some wards. Honestly, if they are able to point-blank trade Baron for Mountain Soul, I actually still feel like that's a reasonably equal trade. The surge of gold into XP kind of makes up for the stats you get from Mountain Soul itself. Like, it's not like the gold goes away. You are permanently, farther along in your build than you would have been, so that can be an acceptable trade. Obviously, EG heavily wins if it goes the other way. If they trade one Mountain Drake for Baron, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, we'll get Soul later. Like, who cares? But TL, yes, limited in options. They've lost every team fight they've ever fought, and the gold's gotten worse than those last 2 team fights.
And it's always so risky because you can try to go for that play and one person could be soloing the mountain while 4 people delay you at the Baron. And then you're basically going for like maybe a potential 50-50, or maybe you can't even complete it and they get a guaranteed soul. So it's definitely a difficult situation to navigate. Plus, while I agree in the short term, the Baron gold can equal out there, as the game gets later and later, a couple thousand gold means less. So, the permanent buff of that Mountain Soul, I think, really does pay dividends in a really long game. So we'll see if they're going to be able to set it up. EG now already Group 5. They're playing for mid lane. They're going to play through mid lane, push us up, and then go straight over to that Dragon. TL have a little bit of a potential flank here, and this is what it's going to rely on. They need to have Alphari and CoreJJ find someone, but a great blue trinket spotted them out on that flank.
So flank's not going to be happening. Jensen can easily clear up mid. The one benefit that TL have is easily accessible globals, so Jensen can kind of be anywhere on like remotely the side of the map and join at full power since you want to ult in as Galio anyway. Team Liquid though, otherwise have engaged tools. CoreJJ and Alphari can both do it. Jizuke tries to come in, not going to find it just yet. Stun's almost going to land. Galio over the top here. Sunskaren looking for the kill on Tactical. The first spin comes across and forces the Zonias out. And here comes the rest of the fight as into the back line goes Alphari. He's going to find one kill, trade it back instantly as the top laner dies. Impact comes in, flashes in. He's going to find Tactical, who tries to heal back up. Dodges away. Second ult comes across. Jizuke's found himself a second kill though, and it's a 3v3. But the chase down's going to be too good. Down goes one, and down goes two. Jizuke on a double kill. And this Yone has been showing up everywhere. Impact's been showing up anywhere, and EG gonna win the team fight and claim the Mountain Soul.
Nicely done there by EG. They had the stopwatch. Impact able to buy it up so he could play so aggressively, throw himself into the back line there, create so much time for the team. And here it is one more time. Jizuke starting it off. CoreJJ forced to try to peel for him. Svenskeren piling in on top of Tactical, uses his Zonias to buy time. Impact hits Mega and then goes straight for the big targets in the backline there, not wasting his ulti, saved it throughout this fight. And when Tactical goes into the ulti, he realizes he's going to heal through it, so he goes into the stopwatch, buying time for Jizuke to get over there, flash pulverize there from Ignar, allowing him to close that gap and kill them off. And Yone is such a threat in these fights. He has the early Bloodthirster, so if you are not actually bursting this guy down, he is going to go straight back up to full health. He even has fleet footwork, and look at how much damage he got done there. You've got to have the CC landing on him and bursting him out, or he becomes so ridiculously strong. I mean, Jizuke did more damage than the entire top side of the map for TL.
Yeah, I mean, really beautiful stuff. And it's impressive. Like, not only is he going to be able to, at this point now, actually side lane, because ADCS lead and 4 kills looks actually pretty good against the Camille, 2 levels as well. But yeah, the teamfight impact's there, right? The ulti wombos, where Alistar Pulv is AoE, Yone ult actually groups them together, so it's even easier for Alistar or Gnar to land those. The sleep could set it up. There's so many ways to just stun lock the entire team while also dealing the most damage in the game. So really impressive stuff. EG looking powerful. Did not go for the Baron, but they've got Mountain Soul and they're pushing down mid lane.
It's so incredibly difficult to burst him down now, because not only does he have the Bloodthirster shield, he has the Mountain Soul shield on top of that. It looks like it's nearly 1,000 additional shielding you have to break through to even get to the health on Jizuke. Plus he has all that sustain. Nice little dodge back by Tactical, as TL are just going to concede the inhibitor, and they're trying to get Alphari to have something happening here in this side lane himself. He will be able to get a tower for TL, try to grab a little bit of gold, but he's got to get out of there pretty quickly because EG are collapsing from both sides. And will he have time to actually just straight up base? Yeah, it looks like he will.
Yeah, channels it a little bit late, and then it's like, wait a second, I think I'm going to get found out, and then, now it's too late. Now he's surrounded. This is, okay, now he gets to live. Okay, that's a good TP. That's very smart to realize about what my timeline is. Okay, I've got 4 seconds, but not 8. Able to get away with just the cooldown. And the nice thing is, EG, I don't think they ever saw the TP, but at a certain point they could surmise, like, okay, we saw him 7 seconds ago, he's gone, had to be teleport.
Yeah, and especially now that he shows up on top side, you see the question mark ping as soon as he walked through Tribush, you're like, okay, he TP'd top. There's no way that he could have full recalled and then walked up there in that time, so they should have a good idea of what's going on now. At the same time, Jizuke has completed his IE. That is huge for the Yone. Of course, the Bloodthirster is lower DPS, lower burst, but he went for that sustain, for that power in the team fights, and now has the IE to boot. So one good combo on someone like Tactical or even Santorin if you don't have the Zonias, and you are just going to pretty much die instantly.
Okay, Alphari going to try the fight out, down 2 levels, but Galio over the top means big damage. Jizuke going to get shut down for 1,000 plus 21 gold for a minion. Jensen gets a ton of cash in there. A great setup by Alphari.
Yeah, that is really well done. Even though he is very far ahead, you're not going to win that 2v1. There's a lot of crowd control, and Alfari still does a tremendous amount of damage on these 3 items here. He has the Executioners as well to cut some of that healing. Jensen should have his death cap off of that as well, so we'll have a pretty impressive amount of burst available now on the Galio. TL finding a pretty critical pick, but still going to be a very, very tough game. They also got the teleport out of Impact and potentially going to go look for another pick here.
As you go for the hookshot play, doesn't seem to want to burn it. He's going to heal up off the Grump, though. 27 health per auto, gets a couple hundred, at least 78 off of the backflip there, and that's going to be claimed. So Team Liquid still showing signs of life. 1,000 gold difference compared to Mountain Soul. Yes, that's obviously relevant. You can kind of math out how much durability that is, though, and call it maybe 2,000 gold of stats. I think that's like a pretty decent rough approximation. So, hey, call it a 3,000, 4,000 gold difference. That's the game. Is a 4,000 gold difference comebackable? Absolutely it is.
Definitely is, but the problem becomes, can they actually execute in these team fights? Because it has been EG consistently winning in the 5v5s. They have this really strong Camille who's supposed to dive in and kill off the Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa has a stopwatch now. You have Alistar there for an easy headbutt. Anytime you have Alfari going for that dive, you just headbutt him away, knock him out of the ulti. That frees Deftly to actually kite back, and Jizuke is kind of going unchecked because Deftly has gotten strong enough to the point where TL feel like they have to hard commit to killing off this Kai'Sa, but then you have Gnar who's really strong at this point, you have Jizuke who's really strong at this point, great healing from Ignar, and the team fight becomes difficult. So it's going to be down to execution here from Team Liquid. Can they find a great pick, a hookshot flash, something to kill off someone to begin that fight? Otherwise, it is so tough to actually win. And now EG, they know their strength. They are going to force Team Liquid's hand. Jensen is down on that bot side, and they're just straight onto the Baron. It just looks dead.
It's dead instantly. It's not going to be answered. It's going to be claimed, no problem. Well done, Evil Geniuses. Control of the river means control of Baron, and that's been picked up. 3,000 gold lead. Elder Dragon in 42 seconds, and if they need to recall, they can, but they can easily just stay on the map.
I mean, you've got supers, you've got open Nexus turrets. Jensen has to base, absolutely. They know they have the strong 5v5. Now they have the Baron and supers. They're going to walk down mid lane. With Kai'Sa Yone, they killed that Baron so damn fast. Team Liquid had no chance to answer. And now EG looking like they just want to...
Once they see 5, bro. Well, as soon as they see 5, they're like, okay, we know you've all recalled. Great, inside track on Dragon, right? We can just run there and it's ours and we know what's happening. CoreJJ stopped the recall, though. He made the call that they'll see 4 and turn around, and Core can try to lead the way back in. Is this doable? Depends on how greedy they get on the movements. They find the stun in the backline, they get the damage coming across. Galio over the top, they're looking for the play. Flash coming out and Tactical. He's trying to live, but he cannot. Jizuke finds it, locks up 2 more, and this team fight is over. Evil Geniuses, they will kill absolutely everyone. They will chase them down. Santorin can't jump over the wall. Jensen gonna lose his life. It's gonna be Alfari slinking away, trying to cut the wave, but there's still minions ready to go. They've got a super. This isn't going to matter. EG have a 5v1 to end the game.
What a game from EG, battling back from such a rough early game Impact, getting destroyed by Team Liquid in that top lane, but he came up huge when it mattered. He came up huge in the team fights, and EG are going to take this game.
They are. They're going to improve to 4 and forward. It's exciting when we've got good teams here in the LCS. Impact, the best 0-4 start I have ever seen. And it wasn't the Yone. It was a Gnar who came back and was massive in team fights. Jizuke had his answer to the Galio, and it was Yone, and that looked outstanding. 0-0-16 for Ignar and Alistar. He may have not been in time for the first couple of rounds, but he was certainly there for the rest of the team fights. You could go on and on, but EG, as a team, took a very big comeback win over Team Liquid.
It was really impressive, honestly, that they were able to turn this around. Team Liquid, over the last couple of years, has been a team where when they secure an advantage, it is so rare to see them give it up. And Team Liquid got everything they wanted. They created this enormous side lane advantage by attacking top lane constantly. CoreJJ pulling off multiple roams. They're even in bot, despite the fact that Leona is out on the map constantly. You feel like everything is going their way. But EG were able to find answers to these fights. They were able to have teleport responses to the engages. They were able to have multiple members answering those attacks that TL was going for, and they just straight up outfought their team opponents time after time after time. Didn't matter that they were down behind in top lane.
Certainly you could argue some mistakes from TL. I know that first Rift Herald fight, people did kind of walk in too much. The positioning was just better for EG. Yeah. I mean, it was not a flawless game, sure, but the fact that EG came away with it means that they were in the right place at the right time. They mechanically executed on them appropriately, and it was a bunch of big pop-up performances from the high-impact plays. I mean, Impact was outstanding, Jizuke was outstanding, the rest of the team played around them very well, but it felt like the solo lanes were the name of the game. It's what TL wanted out of their comp, but EG got more out of those lanes, so really, really well done to them. Now, we are stepping away, but after the break, we've got Impact in the Verizon post-game interview, so don't go anywhere.
I don't really consider it gear. It's an extension of who I am. It blurs the line between fantasy and reality. Sometimes, I can't tell myself from my machine. I think that's by design.
Welcome back to the LCS, everyone. Following Evil Genius's victory over Team Liquid, I am here with Impact for our Verizon post-game interview. Now, Impact, you know this. Team Liquid put a lot of resources into trying to get Alphari ahead in the game. How did you manage to make it out of that laning phase?
I was eating early game, and I mean I knew that they're gonna try give Lissus top side when I saw he have Ignite and Omniestone, some rune they want. So I was thinking, oh shit, I think I will get camp. That's why I'm asking to Ignite can help to top side, and I make mistake. That's why going behind. I was keep saying that sorry guys. I think I'm eating, and like I almost knocked the, I almost went McDonald's, McDonald's job, but Yeah, I mean, I said that I'm sorry about the not dodging because I knew that, but I didn't try like sacrifice too much. I was want to win lane, and yeah, I got punished. But after that, yeah, I'm doing well team fight.
Yeah, exactly. You made it out of there. You got to the team fighting. As great as Team Liquid's team fighting is, EG was looking absolutely incredible. What are comms like in the team fights, and what role do you feel that you play?
I say just go. Yesterday we was scared to everything to like not engaging or oh what do you do. But we said that before we start game, just go. If angle is good, then yeah sure. And I said I won't play like engage champion, not like GP, because I won't make play possible. Yeah, that's and happened that I make the good play, I think.
Yeah, Gnar ult to start a lot of those fights to definitely make the good play. And speaking of which, we've seen you play weak side. We've seen you return to carry play in the top lane. What is enabling you to be so flexible this year?
I mean, I'm just follow meta and I like try. I need to play tank or I need to play carry like that. I'm just following meta. What champion is good or bad. So this meta like just I think team fight meta normally. Not like top can hard carry if not getting top by plate or turret. So yeah, I'm just doing my rule, my job. Not like flexible or something.
Well, you did your job well, and we did learn that you are, in fact, the player of the game in this case. What's your reaction to that news?
What the heck? How? But thank you guys.
You say how, but you just played the game that we all watched. It was great to see you in that Impact, and thank you so much for stopping by for this interview.
Thank you guys.
We are going to be heading into a short break here, but when we return, we've got the final match of the day. FlyQuest taking on Golden Guardians and a new chapter in the saga between Jose de Oro and Newbie. Stay tuned.